Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna find our best boy. I wish they just did it by number here. Mario. Okay, we'll go. We'll go like 60% plus. Or more than, so yeah, so this should be, oh wait, yeah, no, we can keep it like that. So then here, this can be 60-40. Here we can do 50-50. Oops. I don't think there's going to be anything other than that. So we can get rid of this Mario. So I want this to be blue. I want this one to be green. That can stay yellow. This can go like, this can be red. We can make this gray-ish. Okay. I think we are all set to go here. So this is going to be a Mario matchup chart, just based off of my personal experience, my knowledge on the character, and just the matchups that I think are good, the matchups that I think are bad, etc. So before we do this, let's just make this into echoes. I don't know. So first of all, we can throw Daisy in here. I'm not going to rank any of the Miis because I just literally don't know. Who else do we have for Echo Fighters? Ken and Ryu are different. We can put Richter down here. One of the pits. Everything else should be in order here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just give one more check through. Well, if I notice anything later, we will adjust afterwards. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through. Some characters will require more of an explanation than others, but so I'm gonna start. Let's start with the matchups that I think. I don't think that there's anything in this category. I don't think that there's a matchup that Mario inherently just like gets absolutely destroyed. So there will be no worse than like a 40-60. So I'm actually just gonna get rid of this row right away. And then I'll change this color to like a darker. Okay. So matchups that Mario tends to struggle with a little bit. The big one right out the gate, I'll tell you, is, where is she? Palutena definitely wins this matchup, I think. Palutena's spacing tools, back air having invincibility, her using down tilt at the ledge to edge trap, even just like auto reticle, snuffing out Mario's recovery is like really easy for her to do. So it's very hard for Mario to maneuver around her, I think, anyway. Oh, I could put the Samuses here too. But yeah, I just it's a very, you have to be very methodical and you have to be very smart with the way you play that matchup. Let's see. I can honestly just like probably go through row by row. Bayonetta. Mario beats Bayonetta. Bowser Jr. Mario beats Bowser Jr. Bowser is probably 50-50. No. I'm almost wondering if I shouldn't have a 55-45 category. Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's make this red. Let's make this orange. Okay, so this is going to be 55-45. And I'm just going to make this. Now I can add one into underneath this one. Add row below. We can just make this. Yeah, that's neutral. And then we can make this one this color. We can make this 45% to 55%. I think Mario slightly beats Bowser. Just because Bowser's combo food. I don't think it's like a super winning matchup, but I think that he does pretty well with him. Mario can act out of shield really well. Flood and Cape are like super good against him. So I don't think that there's any reason Mario loses that much up super significantly. Falcon, Mario beats Falcon. Chrom. I'm gonna put Chrom on 55-45, although he's almost up here, honestly. Just because Flood and Cape literally just destroy Chrom, but Chrom's ability to get in with Sword is really good. Mario struggles with Sword characters a lot, so this is just a really polarizing matchup. Either Chrom just absolutely would destroy Mario, or Mario just pops off. Cloud, I'm gonna put slightly unfavored. His side B, his ability to just like space back air, it's a lot like Palutena, honestly. So I would put Cloud as like a slight losing matchup. It's just more irritating than anything. I don't think he loses it by that much, but like super badly, I would say. Corrin. Mario beats Corrin. Pit. I think Mario beats Pit pretty easily too. Pit's just kind of a niche character that just kind of does his own thing. I don't really understand him. Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong's recovery is pretty exploitable. I'd probably put him here. Same thing with Donkey Kong. None of these are like super free. Donkey Kong might actually be like a 60+ for Mario. He just gets killed by like literally everything. Dr. Mario, it's pretty free. I would say that that's a very good matchup for him. Duck Hunt slightly wins, I think. Cape's really good against his can, if you can put it in the right spot. Duck Hunt's just kind of an awkward character to maneuver around. He's really short. He's got some weird stuff, but he's got a really bad recovery, and Mario's really good at exploiting that. So I would say Duck Hunt's like a slightly winning matchup. Let's see. Falco. Falco's interesting. I'm going to put Falco... Mario likes to get in really close, and Falco's really good at packing on damage right away. He just struggles to kill a lot, so I'm going to put Falco at like 50-50 for now. Although it's pretty close to like a slightly winning match. So I'm probably actually going to put him here at slightly winning. Fox is definitely just 50-50. Like I said, a lot of it comes down to Mario's ability to edge guard, and the other character just like not having an answer for it. against Fox, Mario can kind of just jump around him a lot. Fox isn't really going to get a whole lot out of grabbing. So Mario can sit and shield and up smash a lot, which is really good. But Fox just is very good at like maintaining momentum. So I would say that this match was pretty 50-50 for the most part. Ganondorf, it's pretty easy. Greninja, I would say that that's probably about 50-50 as well. But it's almost like an I don't know matchup, if I'm being totally honest. But I'll put him at 50-50. Ice Climbers slightly wins. Might even be 60-40. Just because Nana's stupid and doesn't like to follow Popo around. But having to fight two characters when you're super combo heavy character is pretty annoying. So maybe we'll put him here for now. Ike, same problem as as Cloud, I think. Mario has a really tough time approaching, especially when Ike's sword is as big as it is. I can just space out Nair. He can edge trap with neutral B. He's really good at like mixing up with like grab stuff too, and if you are above Ike, it's really not a good space for Mario to be in. So I put this at like a slightly losing matchup. Flood beats Incineroar outright. I don't think that that's much of a question. Inkling plays very similar to Mario in terms of like combos and damage output and everything. Inkling just has like slightly less janky cheese stuff to hit Mario with. So I think this is a pretty even matchup for the most part. Isabelle. We dunk on Isabelle. Same thing with Jigglypuff. Joker. I actually think that this is a slightly favorable matchup for Mario. It's very, very close to being 50-50, but my training partner that I play with a lot is a Joker player, and he would crucify me if I put him anywhere else than right here. If I'd had him even here, Dylan would throw a fit about it. I don't think it's a free win by any means necessary, just because it's Joker and Arsene is insane. But it's slightly favored for Mario, just because Mario has like a lot better out of shield options than Joker does. If you're Joker and you're playing against a Mario, you really want to exploit his recovery with down gun if you can, back air off stage. But Mario's grab game is super good, and his ability to maneuver around Joker and just kind of nair out of his combos and stuff makes this like pretty annoying for Jokers to deal with. And now that the nerf to Arsene came through a couple months ago, this matchup becomes a lot easier for Mario, I think. Ken is very interesting, and I'm gonna put him at slightly losing actually, and here's why. Ken likes to play super up close and personal with you. A lot of brawler characters will have like some really weird matchups with each other. In this specific scenario, I think Ken, if he is allowed to get close to Mario, he can do a lot of damage and a lot of his multi-hits and stuff. That makes him like marginally better at the matchup than like Ryu would be. And for like that sake, I'll put him at like 50-50. I would say. Let's see. King Dedede. It's probably like a 60-40, I would say. It's not super free. I'll put DK at 60-40 too. It's not super. These are all like pretty unlosable matchups as long as you know what you're doing, I would say. Puff might be a bit of an exception in that regard, but I wouldn't say that it's that much of a deal. King K. Rool, same thing. I would actually put this as a 60+. Just because K. Rool's projectile game, and with him being as big as he is, a forward air just kind of deletes him. And with how bad his recovery is, I don't see any reason why Mario should lose that. Kirby, 60-40, I would say. Link is honestly probably 50-50. Might be slightly favored. I'll put Link at 50-50 for now. I'm not too terribly sure. Little Mac, obviously. I'm going to put him at 60-40. It's not totally free. You could just kind of platform camp him and grab him and throw him. But if Little Mac finds a way to get in, it's a little strange to deal with, I would say. Lucario, I literally have no idea just because Aura is so weird. And I don't know how much of an impact Aura really has on the matchup. I would assume that it's just the same as everything else for Lucario. But I'm not very familiar with the matchup. Lucas, both Lucas and Ness I'm going to put at 50-50s. I think Lucas is slightly worse. So I'll put him at like a 55-45, but I think it's pretty even with Ness for the most part. I don't really need to say a whole lot. PK Fire and Ness's movement is actually, like, if you're good at Ness movement and maneuvering around people, this matchup's very annoying for Mario, and holding Yo-Yo off stage is just really, really good. With Lucas's up B being weaker and him being just like a floaty or slower character in general, I think the matchup's probably a little bit better for Mario, I would say. We're making good progress. Lucina. I wouldn't even say... Lucina's probably about 55-45. It's like borderline 40-60 though. I'm going to put her at 40-60 just because her recovery is so good. And Mario, like, when I play Mario specifically, I like to sit and shield a lot. Shield Breaker is really scary to deal with. Lucina's just got a lot of good stuff. Very fundamentally sound character. Very good at spacing. A good Lucina should almost always beat a good Mario, in my opinion anyway. This could be very close to just being a 45-55, but I think it's probably pretty close to a 40-60, honestly, at peak level. Luigi... From the close-up nature of Luigi, I'm going to put him at slightly winning. I don't really have a whole lot to say on him. Depends on your playstyles, Luigi, mainly. Marth, 50-50, just because tippers are inconsistent. I think having Lucina is unfavorable, and having Marth as a 50-50 is pretty fair. Mega Man. Mega Man is interesting. Pellets are very annoying to deal with. So is Leaf Shield, Metal Blade, like literally anything and everything Mega Man does. I think it's maybe slightly unfavored. It's slightly unfavored even. I would say it's probably even. Maybe. No, we'll keep him at 50-50 for now. Meta Knight wins pretty convincingly. Same thing with Mewtwo, just because his tail's so big. Mr. Game & Watch. This is a very 50-50 matchup. They have a lot of pretty distinct similarities. Smash attacks are pretty much the same. Game & Watch's ledge trapping is like okay. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about Game & Watch. I don't mind fighting Game & Watch, but that matchup tends to go pretty even, I think. Olimar is slightly unfavored. I hate Olimar. Olimar is really annoying, and racking up damage and being able to space out Mario, and with him being as small as he is, makes that very good for him. That's basically the argument there, and his ability to string damage together is just crazy. Pac-Man. As somebody that plays Mario and then Pac-Man is a secondary, it's very hard to compare the two characters because they play very similarly when they're trying to brawl each other out, but when Pac-Man switches to zoning, it's very easy for Pac-Man to go after Mario off stage. Cape kind of counters fruit at times, especially like Galaga if you are prepared for it. Pac-Man's got a lot better out of shield options, kills a lot easier. I'm gonna put this as slightly unfavored. Peach 50-50. Pichu 50-50. Pikachu is probably 50-50 as well. I don't think that matchup's that terrible. Pikachu's got a very good matchup spread, but I think Mario does a pretty good job of keeping him in check. Piranha Plant wins. Pokemon Trainer. Pokemon Trainer is hard to rank. Against Squirtle, Mario's very good. Against Ivysaur, he's a little bit worse. Against Charizard, he's very good. So I'm actually going to put this as a slightly winning matchup. Ridley, 60-40. Robin. I'm going to put this as a slightly favored as well. Rob is 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. As long as Rob has a good grab game and doesn't land on Mario's shield a super lot, Rob should always go after Mario off stage, tossing out gyro, tossing out laser, spacing nair and back air. Like, honestly, Mario would have a very hard time approaching. This is like borderline almost unfavorable, but based off of like my personal experience, I'd say it's 50-50. Rosalina and Luma, I think this is a marginal win. Could even be 60-40, honestly, with how light she is. If you deal with Luma, it's pretty easy. Roy, I'm going to put it an unfavorable matchup. The Roy matchup is very hard because Roy can just toss out moves and Mario has a very hard time getting in. Dancing Blade is very threatening and Mario likes to kind of hang out on ledge a little bit, or at least I do. So approaching Roy gets to be really, really tricky, especially a Roy that's like patient, has a good grab game. So it's hard to outmaneuver him. Roy's got some good like platform strings. Counters are like not that much of an issue to work around, but off my personal experience, the Roy matchup sucks. It's not fun to play. Samus, slightly favored. Just don't give her space, honestly. Sheik, I don't know a whole lot about Sheik, but just based off of how light she is and how close she likes to play, she's got a very quick play style, and Mario can match her in that. Shulk, I'm going to put slightly unfavorable. Shulk is, in my opinion, one of the least interesting characters to play in this game. You can honestly win like some matchups just by like turning on Buster or Smash Monado and just nairing. You can sit in shield, up tilt, forward tilt. You kill people at ledge super easy. Speed and jump, like just allow him to move around Mario like really, really well. It's hard to, you have to be very, very patient, and you have to know this matchup very well to have your like a decent enough chance to win, in my opinion. Belmont, that's a pretty easy matchup, I think. Snake, I think Snake is slightly favorable for Mario. Snake's got a lot of bullshit, but bad recovery, and Mario forward air is like super scary, so he has to recover high almost every time. If you're smart and you can maneuver around grenades really well, and Nikita especially, it's honestly probably pretty close to 50-50, but I think it's slightly favored. Sonic, I'm going to put as 50-50. I don't know the matchup well enough to make a super good enough opinion for it. if I'm being totally honest. Sonic's just annoying. Toon Link, slightly favorable. Villager, 60-40. Wario, honestly, I think Mario checks Wario very well. I don't think that Wario's a good character to play into Mario. They play very much the same way, and Mario's moves are just better. Wario's got like a sick nair and a sick up air, but Mario's are both better. Wario down air is worse than Mario down air. Wario forward air is not a good move. And Mario forward air is very good at catching people off bike, especially if they're playing Wario. Wario does have waft, but typically in games against Mario, if you're playing aggressive enough, I think that it's fine. I wouldn't even venture to say that this is 50-50. I think it's a slightly winning for Mario. Wii Fit Trainer. I think this might be 50-50, but I really don't know. Wolf. Wolf is interesting. Wolf has some pretty nasty aerials, pretty mean hitboxes. Can camp with laser. Down smash, down throw into dash attack is really, really good. I think that on a comparison scale, I think that they do a lot of the same things, just in different ways. So I'm going to make this a 50-50. Yoshi. My personal experience tells me Yoshi is my least favorite character in the game. I do not like Yoshi. I think Yoshi's garbage. He's a very good character, but I think the stuff he does is very washed and watered down. No offense to any of the Yoshi players. That's just my opinion. But I don't think he inherently does a lot of things that are better than Mario, but he's not worse. So I'm going to put him at a 50-50 as well. Toon Link, kind of the same thing as regular Link. Zelda, this is a marginally winning matchup if you can learn to maneuver the Phantom. I have another buddy of mine that plays a very, very good and aggressive Zelda. He's very difficult to play against, but even with how good he is, Mario still gives him a lot of trouble at times. If you just don't give her the time to react and do the things that she wants to do, then it's really not too scary to deal with. ZSS, I believe this matchup is a 50-50. You can kind of sit and shield a lot against ZSS. You're not going to get a super big disadvantage off of her grabbing you a lot, and she's not going to be trying to grab you. So you can just wait for her to approach and then go for grabs and back airs. It's pretty cut and dry. You avoid flip kick and be really smart with your recovery. Honestly, like sitting in shield is like one of the best things that you can do when you're playing against this ridiculously good character. Hero, I really have no idea, and it's hard to rank like matchups against Hero just with the amount of ridiculous things that he can do. Banjo, we beat Banjo. I would even venture to say, well, Wonder Wing makes it like more tolerable for him. It might be 60-40 for Mario. I'm going to put him in 60-40, but it's a very, very close 55-45. Banjo at times can be very good, and Wonder Wing's a really good move to just recover for free with. Terry, I think, is just due to FLUDD. It's kind of the Chrom problem, in my opinion. I'm going to put him at a 50-50 for now. Actually, we're going to put him at 55-45. It's the same thing as Chrom, right? It's really polarizing. If you allow Terry to get in, he's going to go, like, off. But as long as you play smart, really utilize FLUDD, cape, that sort of thing, too, you can get around him fairly well. And then Best Girl Byleth. I think that this is a winning matchup for Mario. As long as she's not spacing back air and stuff, and you just get underneath her, I don't see any reason why you should be able to... why you shouldn't be able to beat her. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Can we get a full snapshot in? We can. So I'm gonna do a nice little snip here. I'm gonna pop this into my Discord. Okay. But there you have it. So this is just spur of the moment, kind of off the whim with not too much thought involved. But as far as Mario matchups are concerned, a lot of it is just kind of based off your opinion, your experience with the matchup. This is kind of just a general thing. So really, like, his matchup spread against a vast majority of the cast is either 50-50, slightly favored or better. These select few characters he just kind of destroys. He's got about 9 or 10 weird-ish matchups. The 45-55s like are very, very winnable. Don't get me wrong, but they're very annoying. And then these 3 characters right here are the biggest counters to him, in my opinion. Whether or not one of them is worse for him to deal with than the other 2 remains to be seen. But yeah, and then I just like the Miis. I have no idea. Hero, not really sure. Same thing with Lucario. I just can't really gauge aura or the menu well enough. If I had to guess, Hero would be like a 55-45, and so would Lucario. Wii Fit would probably be 55-45 or 50-50 as well. But again, I'm not super versed in the matchup. But yeah, so that's the matchup chart. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be doing more matchup charts for characters in the future. I'm going to start getting into doing the character guides again. So yeah, if you enjoyed, if you have any questions as to why I put certain characters in the places that they're in, that sort of thing, if you disagree, that's totally fine. Feel free to ask questions. I'm not going to promise that I'll answer every one of them. But yeah, that's all I got for you. I will see you guys later.